Hello, everyone. My name is John Radiker, and I am here with Miss Kathy Black. Together, we have formed Unlimited Morocco. This is going to be a transformational, intentional, active retreat this fall in the beautiful, exotic country of Morocco. We are going to be talking about all of your beliefs that are holding you back, and we are going to examine those, and the tools that Kathy and I have created together are going to help you live an unlimited life. Now, today, we are not going to go into the dynamics of the actual retreat as for the program, but I did want Kathy to share with you about the details of the travel. So Kathy, please tell me a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to get started on this 10-day retreat.
Fantastic. Thanks, John. I'm Kathy, as you mentioned, and I am a Canadian. I live near Toronto part of the year, and the rest of the time I live in Marrakesh, Morocco. So I moved here in 2016. I've been here for 6 years, and I have a life coaching business and a tour business, and I just love the transformational nature of travel. And when I came to Morocco the first time on a trip, it changed my life. So much so that I went back to Canada and sold my house, sold my car, rehomed my dog, and moved back in 3 months. And here we are.
And that's a perfect example of living unlimited. You had so many barriers and things standing in your way, and you went for it. So part of those tools we are taking for this retreat and part of that experience. Let's talk about the travel and the beauty of Morocco. So our guests are going to arrive on October 24th, and the retreat runs October 24th through November 4th. The first day, we are going to be arriving in Marrakesh. So tell me a little bit about that. And
that's right.
And what we're going to do that very first day.
Sure. Well, we're going to have everybody come together in Marrakesh and meet at 6 p.m. in the hotel. So we'll share that information and help everybody to get to Marrakesh from wherever they are. There's all sorts of options for arriving. And we are going to start the retreat at 6 p.m. in the hotel in Marrakesh, which is an ancient city, but is a mecca for tourists right now. Part of the city was built by the French in the 1950s, and the other part of the city was built by the Berbers, the native people, in the 11th century. It is a fantastic place to start our trip. And we are going to be in the heart of the Medina. The first night, John and I, we will meet everybody, and we'll also be introducing our guide who will be with us for the entire trip to help us understand the language, any things that we come up against, and who can tell us about the history and the culture and the politics of this incredible country. There's so much to learn.
Yeah, and in addition to our guide, we also have Karen Stinson, Kitty, who we know and love and adore, and she's going to be our support for breath work, yoga, and meditation. So everything that we're learning, she's just going to support it every day. So that first night, we're going to meet up, and we should say at this point that all of this information is on UnlimitedMorocco.com. So as you're listening today, you don't need to write furiously. You can go to UnlimitedMorocco.com and get all the details. So on our second day, bright and early, we're going to wake up, and we're heading to the town of Imlil. Tell me a little bit about Imlil, Kathy.
Imlil is a town in the Atlas Mountains, the high Atlas Mountains, outside of Marrakesh by about 90 minutes. So we will gather together and take a bus ride out. Once we're in Imlil, which is a base for people to hike and ascend Mount Toubkal, which is the highest mountain in North Africa, We will then be hiking for about an hour up to a small village called Armed. And there we're going to have lunch. It's where we'll stay for the night. And we will be hiking further. If people want to go, there's an opportunity to hike for the entire afternoon. Or you can relax, you can do a little walk around the village. There's all sorts of ways to keep busy, but it is a national park. It is in the mountains, and it's just a beautiful location, very remote.
And if I'm correct, this is where we stay at a jeet, which is a small local farmer guest house. And they're the ones who are going to do the preparing of our meals for us. So that will be
absolutely. It's fantastic. It's a basic accommodation. It's run by a family. They grow their own food and get it from the local market. And it's just, the food is tremendous. It's an amazing experience.
Yeah, and that'll be an opportunity to start to get to know the people and the culture. So that's fantastic.
Absolutely.
And this evening is when we're going to have our evening program, Challenging Your Limiting Beliefs. And once again, we're going to share all about the programs on another little video, but that will be quite exciting. So every day we're going to start with the opportunity for people to get together with Kitty and to do the meditation, the breath work, and have her support our program. But on day 3, we're going to wake up and we're going to hike back down to the bus. And then we are going to have quite an exhilarating drive, I understand, to 8 Ben Hadou.
It is a fantastic drive. It's one of my favorite in the world. It's up and over the High Atlas Mountains, and we cross the highest pass in North Africa, Tizi and Tichka. So it's a bit of a windy road for a little while, but we pass goats and sheep and random chickens and all sorts of Berber villages. And we go up to the top and then we come down the other side. So we'll have a chance to stop at the top and see where we've been. And then down the other side and into the village of Eit Ben Hadou, where we encounter a Casbah, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site from the 17th century. It's a fantastic, one of, I think, the best examples of pre-Saharan architecture that exists in the world. And it's home to still a few families. So it's a living monument. And we will take a walk through there and visit the locals and go up to the top and have a fantastic view of the river valley. It's also, I should point out, a very famous location because it's where Lawrence of Arabia and Gladiators and Game of Thrones has been filmed. So it's highly recognizable.
That is awesome. Yeah, and that's going to be amazing. And talk about doing Unlimited with that as our backdrop. That just is crazy.
Yeah, it's a great day.
Day 4, we're really getting to the south of Morocco, which is very different. And we're starting to edge a lot closer to the Sahara Desert. Am I right?
We are. And, you know, John, there's so much history, the trading routes between Sudan and the sub-Saharan countries across the Sahara Desert through all of the sand. I mean, it's fantastic. So the camels would cross and they would come to the other side, the trading posts on the other side. And we're going to be heading down, and we'll stay that night in a village called Zagora. And on the way down, we're going to cross the Draw Valley, which is the longest oasis in Morocco. And we'll see date palms, and really, there's a really palpable change that you'll start to feel as we get closer and closer to the desert. It's a neat feeling, and it's quite unique. It's quite unique in character.
And Zagora is an oasis with farming, building villages, and I believe it has a very religious, diverse culture there. So we will get to experience all of that.
Yes,
And then tonight,
absolutely.
I don't want to say I have a favorite part of our program, but I do have a favorite name for one of our programs, and that is Don't Be a Camel. So we're going to talk all about Don't Be a Camel near the Sahara Desert where there are camels. So
Absolutely.
it'll be
Camels galore.
camels galore. It'll be transformational once again. The next day is a big day. We are moving and grooving and rolling. And what all will we be doing on day 5?
Day 5 is a big day. We're going to cross through a village called Tamagrut. And in Tamagrut, we'll stop and see how they make the pottery that is green, that's often associated with Morocco. And it's fired in this particular village. So we'll see the way the craftsmen get the clay and dry the clay, mold it, fire it using ancient methods. And then they make this gorgeous green, rough pottery, bowls and plates and candlesticks and things that are very, very much associated with Morocco. From there, we're going to a village that houses the oldest library in the world. There is one of the oldest copies of the Quran is there, among other just ancient books. It's a really fantastic, it's a physical feeling when you go into this room and you're surrounded by these books that are just mind-boggling in their age. And then from there, we head down to the edge of the desert, and we're going to meet some 4x4s that will take us into the camp for the night. And we have about a 4-hour drive in the 4x4s into the camp, into the desert, through the dunes, professional drivers. I've tried to commandeer the vehicles, but they won't.
I've asked you 2 or 3 times now if I can drive, and every time I get a no. So,
it's a skill. I'm telling you.
That's going to give us the chance to actually enjoy and look around. So that's
absolutely
fantastic.
It is a great ride. It is so much fun. We stop, we see wild camels. We'll talk about that. And we see wells, and it's just amazing. You really get a really good feel of what the Sahara is all about. And then we get into the dunes, and we'll settle into our camp, and the nomads that run the camp will be there to outfit us with our dinner, and then a campfire, and hopefully we'll see a beautiful sunset that night. It's a really great day.
Tell me a little bit about the camp. So I know it's camping, which some people that puts them off and some people that excites. What is the degree of camping?
The degree of camping, we're going to stay in a luxury camp. So we will have tents with beds and proper bedding, and there'll be toilets and showers in our camp, in our tents in the camp. We're going glamping. So they'll be right in the tent. We'll have hot showers, and then there's a community tent where we go to have meals. And it's quite a nice experience. It's not the Four Seasons, but it's a lovely experience.
We're not roughing it.
We're not roughing it, and there's usually power and sometimes Wi-Fi, but I'm not going to promise that.
And I am super excited about our desert and that evening. And Kathy and Kitty have made me promise that I'm not going to share too many details about the desert night. So just trust me, it's going to be great. So before I spill anything else, let's move on to the next day, because I will talk.
Magical.
It's magical. That's what we'll say.
Magical.
Magical night. So we're going to spend the night in the Sahara Desert. We're going to wake up.
Yep.
We've got to get back on those 4x4s and travel the 3 to 4 hours out of the desert. And what will our destination be that day?
So the destination that day is Waled Beril, which is a market town. And market towns in Morocco are places where people literally travel for days on donkeys and by foot to get to the town to do their trading. They might come in to buy vegetables or chickens or donkeys. They trade everything that they could possibly need. So we'll head into Walid Berel, and we're staying that night in a former palace, which is a really cool experience. There are peacocks that wander the grounds and orange trees outside your rooms. And it's a really lovely place to be. Still in the south of Morocco. We're very much in the south. This is, sort of remote territory, but very cultural and really lovely. And it's a nice chance to unwind after a lot of adventure.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's going to be a fun, fanciful experience. And then that evening, we're going to gather our group. We're going to gather Unlimited. We're going to go sit by the pool, and everything that we've been building in the program is going to come together here, and we're going to have our talk diving deep. And that'll be in the evening time, and everyone is going to greatly enjoy that. Then we're going to disperse. Everyone's going to get to enjoy the palace, the grounds, the peacocks, the orange trees. And the next morning, we're going to wake up and we're going to head towards the sea. And where will we be going next? Day 7.
The next 2 nights we spend in a fishing village, a former Portuguese fishing village that's still a working port, and it's called Essaouira. And it's a very, very popular destination for travelers to Morocco. So on the way there, we're going to take sort of a winding view through the south and over to the west coast. We'll stop near Agadir and have lunch, and then we descend into the town of Essaouira later in the day. And it's a remarkable little village. It's very hippie-ish. There's a lot of artisans and a lot of musicians and loads of fresh seafood and a long, long, long beach. It's a really nice little village.
And while we're there, we're also going to learn about Moroccan oil, which when I learned about Moroccan oil and how it's made, I read about it, and then I immediately had to call you and be like, is this true? Like, are there really goats in trees in Morocco? And your answer was?
Absolutely. We have goats that climb trees. It's a pretty cool experience. The shepherds, you'll see shepherds all over Morocco, but the ones near Essaouira, they go up into the trees. And I mean, goats, you've seen goats on the sides of mountains, so it shouldn't surprise you. But they do go up in the trees, and they pick the little nuts and they process those. And those argan nuts from the argan tree, specifically in Morocco and only on the coastal areas near Essaouira, those are processed. And I think a lot of Americans are really familiar with the blue bottle and the Moroccan oil, that it has nothing really to do with this actual pure argan oil. It's used for beauty, and it's also used for food. There's a food grade argan oil. We'll see how the women process it and what they do to get it. It's very labor intensive to get this oil extracted. And you'll taste some argan oil, some nut butter that's made with argan oil. It's fantastic. And you'll have a chance to get all the oil you want to carry back to the US.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's really a neat experience.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And you'll see some goats and trees. I've held a baby goat. It's lovely. The baby goats are
I
very
am
friendly.
looking forward to seeing goats in trees. In fact, I might get a t-shirt that says just that, goats in trees. Um, this is going to be an opportunity for people to go off a little on their own and try different restaurants,
Yep.
different places to eat. But we will, you and our guide, know the spots to go. So if people have any questions,
Yeah.
it's going to be very much, we can all go, a few can go here, a few can go there. It's very relaxing these last 2 days.
Very relaxing. Yeah, yeah, it is. And Essaouira has such a chill vibe to it. It's a really great little town. Now on day 8 in the morning, the full day that we have in Essaouira, we're going to spend the morning doing our last session. So that'll be a great way to kick off the day there and talk about living with your unlimited beliefs.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing. That's going to be remarkable,
Yes.
in fact. And then
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about the beach there, because isn't it a long beach?
It's phenomenally long and it's flat and it's very wide. So you can walk along the beach and you can ride camels, you can ride horses. There are all sorts of different fellows along the beach that will help you with different sports. It's not a real formal affair, but you can definitely take part in a number of different activities. You can walk along the beach. You could spend the entire day walking from one end to the next. It's really lovely and very, a lot of dunes, a lot to see out to sea as well. There's a little island off of Essaouira, which is kind of neat. And even just walking in the Medina, the old village where all the artisans are, if you're interested in art and silver jewelry, it's all there. It's everywhere. It's a very cool little Medina, much more laid back than some of the other places that will have been.
That's awesome. And as you mentioned, we're going to have our last talk in the morning, Living Unlimited. It's going to be a culmination of everything we have learned this week. And it's also going to reinforce what we've learned and help us move forward. So it's going to be super powerful talk. And then you're going to take that, you're going to walk the beaches, you're going to be unlimited in Essaouira.
Yeah.
Day 9, we're waking up and we're making the trek back to Marrakesh. So
yeah,
tell me about that little hike and what we're going to do once we get back to Marrakesh.
Sure. So we're going to get up. It's a little bit of a lazy morning that day. We'll be able to get up and pack things up, and then we'll head off to Marrakesh. It's about a 3-hour drive, not bad. We'll stop along the way for coffee or some avocado juice. We'll talk more about that wonder of Morocco. And then we will hit the Red City, Marrakesh. We've already been there at the beginning, but only just for a short time. So we'll have the afternoon. There's all sorts of things that can be done. And once people get back, they can scatter to the wind as they like and do some shopping or do some sightseeing. There's all sorts of things that we can offer. And then in the evening, we're going to meet. And as a group, we'll go into Jemna Afnel Square, which is an old trading square for the history just goes on forever. It's not always pretty. It goes back centuries. But it is an ancient square, and it turns into this food market playground at night with storytellers and water seekers and snake charmers and games that can be played. It's loud and people are playing music and singing and dancing, and there's all of these food tents that will go. We'll have dinner at one of the food tents and a little bit of street food, some barbecue, some salads. It's fantastic. It's a great experience and must do when you're coming to Marrakesh.
Yeah, and it sounds
That will
so
be our final.
lively. It's bubbling with energy and life.
Oh,
Yeah, so that will
it's,
be
yeah,
our last meal as our group. So that's going to
Yep.
cement everything we've done. So
Yeah, it's a great experience.
amazing. Then we're going to go back, get some rest. Everyone is going to wake up on day 10. And this is where we're all going to depart back to our homes.
Absolutely.
If anyone is interested in staying a few days in Marrakesh, they can definitely do that. And I'm sure you can help them figure that out.
Yeah.
But overall, this, folks, is what Unlimited Morocco, the travel portion, looks like. So we're so excited. And Kathy has done a tremendous job putting this together. I don't know if you can tell, but I can tell when she talks about Morocco, her eyes light up, her energy lights up. So that is going to be a big part of Unlimited Morocco. And it's a big reason that we chose Morocco, is because of the magic and because it's a little bit out of my comfort zone and a lot of people's comfort zones. And we wanted that. We wanted to push people a little bit so that we can start to see how we can live unlimited, how we can take those I can't, I won't, I'm not able to beliefs and just blow them out of the water and reach to a new level.
Yeah, it's great. Morocco is just it's a country that, you know, I've been here for 6 years and I still every day find something new, something more amazing. It's a very complex place and it's so fun to learn and to understand, and it will touch your soul. It absolutely will touch your soul. There's no question.
That's awesome. Well, Kathy, thank you so much for joining me today. This has been fantastic. If anyone has any questions, Kathy, where would they go for questions?
Well, they can contact us through our Unlimited Morocco Gmail, and that's on the website, and just reach out to us there or a message through Instagram or Facebook. And both you and I can access those messages, and I'm happy to answer any questions about Morocco. And you're here for the retreat side of things. So anything that anybody needs, reach out through the website or Facebook or Instagram.
Right. And once again, it's unlimitedmorocco.com. Kathy, thank you very much. I hope you all have found this exciting. We certainly do. And we look forward to seeing you in Morocco, October 24th through November 4th this year. Thank you. And thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too.